There. Yeah,
that's good.
Mm-hmm. And I've logged into edit mode, and when you log into edit mode, then for the others' benefit, you get these extra bits at the top that show you that you've already logged into the admin part.
Do we need a password for that?
Yeah. Yeah,
so I've set up a couple of you with accounts. I can set up some more. You just need to let me know.
So Paul, it's going to be possible for you or somebody to track who is doing what, is it?
Yeah, the system logs any changes made, so you can see who's done what.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I had a look earlier. I could see what Charlie had done, and I could see what Adrian had done.
So very little.
I know, but you can see that, and I can see that Barry's posted comments on there.
So if you want to get into the sort of the edit area, Jane, just go to the dashboard.
I don't know if the others can see what I did. I've hovered over the pension review group icon there, and then there's dashboard. So dashboard is when that, and now it should, yeah. Now we've gone into the admin bit of it.
So it looks quite busy, but you can ignore all the stuff in the middle. So the main pages, so that are linked to all the menus on the site come under pages, and apart from the news articles that are on the right hand side of the banner and also appear under news, I think it is on the menu, they're under posts. So if you want to create a new news item, you click on posts. If you want to make changes to any of the pages, you click on pages.
And do we have a preview mode before you go live?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So it's all done live. So it's all done. So what you see is how it will be presented when it goes live. But you can save them as draft as well. So you can create them and save them as draft. You haven't got to publish them straight away.
Excellent. Very good indeed. I'm not familiar with WordPress myself. It sounds very good.
Can I just ask something? I noticed it talks about Elementor. You might have, before I joined, you may have mentioned this, but is this an add-on to WordPress, or is it part of WordPress?
Yeah, it's a WordPress add-on. It's very powerful. It allows you to do a lot more complicated layouts and things like that. But it's also I find it a nicer way of just creating content.
Right.
You just drag and drop the features you want, and change the words. You can change the size and the look and feel. It's much more user friendly.
Because I think I came across something where I was attempting. I did very little, as you could see, but I think I was going to close something, and it said you will now revert to the WordPress editor. I think it may have said you might lose features or something. Does that matter?
No, it just
you
lose features on that page that you're editing, because if you go back to the WordPress editor, it won't be able to use any of the Elementor features.
Right. So you just always choose Elementor.
Yeah, I would. Yes, it's
right.
a much nicer way of working on things.
Right.
So how do you choose that? Sorry, I'm into that.
Well, we'll go through it. We're creating a new test post. So if you click add new at the top, Jane, where it says next to posts. So this will create a new post, and then give it a title. So it opens in the standard WordPress editor initially, and that's where you put the title in. You can choose a category on the right hand side as well. If you choose the categories drop down near the bottom.
Oh, right. So we've
and I've just created a category called news.
Yeah, the only categories we've got for posts at the moment are Is news, yeah.
Yeah, so if you put it in the news category, it will appear on the right-hand column on the home page and under the news menu as well. If you don't choose a category, it won't. I don't think it will appear in either place.
And this up there, Barry, that's where the visibility. You've got the visible. I'm hovering my
I see your cursor.
cursor there. Visibility public, publish immediately, or you can embargo there if you want to do that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay, so once you've chosen the category and put the title in, you click the Edit with Elementor button at the top,
Edit with Elementor. Okay.
and that'll open the Elementor editor.
Oh, it said. Oh, I might. It says leaving the site. No, I don't want to leave.
Maybe you need to click Save. Sorry, you need to click Save Draft first. Sorry.
This is something, yeah, something when you're with it, you always have to save things.
Yeah.
Where's the save things on?
At the top right-hand side, it says Save Draft.
Oh yeah, I've got talking heads up there. That's why. Okay. Right. Aha. Now it'll let me.
Okay, if you just do refresh that page now, click the refresh. It should open it again.
Yeah.
And now you should be able to click the Edit with Elementor.
When you see that other thing at the top, it means you're about to lose whatever you've done. Then it kind of tells you you're about to leave what you've done.
Yes, yeah.
Very, very irritating when you've got to the end of something and forgotten to press update and save.
So for the news items, you don't necessarily have to use the Elementor editor. You can do, and I could probably create a template for the news items as well, so that instead of having a blank page like this, you have sections already built and you just change the words on. So another way of doing it is you can also duplicate an existing news item, and then that will keep the same template. You just change the words and then change the title and publish.
Okay, I think a news template would be helpful, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a look at creating a template. But the way the Elementor works, you've got the different types of elements on the left-hand side, and you just drag and drop them into that bit at the bottom where it says drag widget here. So if you want to add a heading, you just grab heading and then drop it on the page.
Or into that bit.
Into that box, yeah. Then that adds the heading. Then you can change the text on the left-hand side. You can change the size of it. There's the style tab allows you to change the color and the font.
I suspect we're likely to just keep it. I think there'll be like the news will always look similar, I would have thought.
Yes, yeah. So I can create a template based on the news stories that already exist, so they all look the same. So I can do that for you. Then
That
when
would
you
be
go
very
into
helpful to have that pro forma, won't it?
Yes, yeah.
Because then we just
I noticed that in the
just
news
cut.
items,
then we just cut and paste content in, don't we? And
Yes, exactly.
yeah, that'd be favourite.
So do you have to load the content up here somewhere before you can cut and paste it into that, or can you just take content from an email or a Word document or whatever?
You can just paste it straight into the box. So if you want to add
if you got it on your clipboard, you can paste it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Paul, what happens to any formatting in a cut and paste job? If you've been creating in, let's say Word or Pages, and there are commands in there that are invisible, as it were. What happens to those?
It tries to keep the formatting as you've got it if it can. So most formatting should stay. If it loses any formatting, then you can reformat it on the site easily enough.
It keeps things like bullet points and things like that, doesn't it? And
yes, yeah.
And paragraph spacing and stuff like that. And you don't lose all of that stuff.
So you'll be able to see the format in the way it displays on whatever screen you're using. So in my case, my laptop screen. Is it possible to see how it will display on a phone or a tablet or whatever?
Yes. So Jane, in the bottom left-hand corner, see you've got a publish button, and then you've got an eye, and then you've got little screens. The third one over, click the third one over, the next one over, click that.
Oh, the responsive mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one. Okay.
And then that's displayed a little thing at the top. So you've got a screen, a tablet, and a phone. You click on either of those at the top, and it will change the format so you can see what it looks like on a computer screen, on a tablet or a phone, just by clicking on those boxes at the top in the black bar.
Oh, okay.
That's very good.
That's cool.
That's good.
So to add another element, so you've added the title. If you want to now add the body, next to where you're just clicking those three icons, there's a grid of 6, 8, 9 dots next to edit heading right at the top, just to the right of edit heading on the top left.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Click on that. That will take you back to all of the widgets,
Right.
and then you can drop the text editor onto the page.
This is Jane's screen we're looking at, I believe, is it?
It is.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So we're not all trying to do the same thing.
And then you can just type in the content in the box on the left hand side. You can type it in on the actual screen, but it's easier if you type it on the left hand side, or you can just paste your content into that box.
Are we going to go through each page now and make comments and try and update them in real time, or what?
The other thing that might be useful, I think, to understand the difference between posts and pages, and to show us how to add media, like images and stuff.
I can show you how to add images. So if you wanted to, for example, add an image to the right hand side of that PRG test page writing, see where the grey, when you put the mouse over there, there's a grey sort of box. If you right click on that.
What, that edit column?
Yeah, if you right click, and it'll bring a menu up.
Oh, okay.
And then you choose add new column from the menu.
Oh, yeah.
So that's split that into two now, and you can adjust the width just by dragging in the middle. That's it. So you can make the columns larger or smaller.
Does it always pop up a byline?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, it says by Jane Slatter.
Yes, sorry. On the news items it does, yes. And you can change it when you first create the article. You can change that name to any other registered user's name as well.
Right.
Or we can hide the names.
I think it might be useful to keep it anonymous myself, because it's coming from the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just go for the J, Paul.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's very easy to remove the names to hide
I think not in other words, not personalize it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, also it's suggesting that whoever it is, like the item I put in and Charlie put in a couple, it's suggesting that they wrote them or I wrote them, which of course I didn't. And Charlie didn't either.
Let's disable the bylines.
It's better to leave it blank.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
But we do need the date, obviously.
Yes, I'll keep the date there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So Jane, if you wanted to add an image to that right-hand column now, if you click back on the 9 dots in the top left-hand corner to show all the widgets again, and just drag the image icon into that box. And then on the left-hand side, where it says choose image, if you click on that sort of wavy grey line, and then you can upload files. So just click select files, choose a file from your PC, and then you can upload it, and it'll display it there.
No, there I am.
So that's the basics of editing a news article. You could click back on the 9 dots to see all the widgets. You can see there's lots of different options for configuring how it looks. So you can add video, you can add dividers.
To be honest, I don't think we're going to fiddle around with this very much. Once we've got a framework, I think all we're going to want to do is put some content in there. So the likelihood is remembering how to use some of the fancier things, because we're not designers and creators. We're just a bunch of people who want to get more pension for our pension.
Just give me the money.
Exactly, but it's a communication tool. That's
sure.
No one is going to be coming to this website to have a good read and say, "Oh, that looks pretty." It's going to be intermittent visiting from time to time by people who want to know what's the latest story. And therefore, I have a question here. We have latest news in the sidebar on the right of the page, and I wonder whether that oughtn't to be front and center in the main body of the screen.
It can be. We can have a ticker across the top of the screen. That's one option.
Yeah, that'd be quite nice.
We can look at that in a second. So
sure. It just strikes me that when you look at the site now, the 2/3 of the screen is welcome, and
Can we go back to that in a minute when we?
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, let's finish doing that. These are news items. So the other thing, Paul, do news items ever fall off the bottom? How does that work?
No. So they will always remain in the system. You can, if they're no longer valid, you can stop them from being published, so that you can unpublish them. If they're published, they will always be there. So they'll be searchable, and you can scroll through to find them as well.
Can we have a look at that to see what we mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. There aren't many news items yet on there yet, but we can have a look.
I'll leave this page now.
Yeah, on the bottom left-hand corner where it says publish, if you click on the little up arrow to the right of that,
yeah,
you can choose save draft.
Okay.
And that would just save that as a draft item.
Right.
And then to get back to the dashboard, you click on the hamburger in the top left-hand corner.
Right.
And just choose exit. And that takes you back to the original editor. Then you can change the title if you wanted to. And then if you want to get back to the dashboard, you click on the WordPress icon in the top left-hand corner.
At any point, you can go back and you can visit the site there, can't you?
Exactly, yes, yeah.
Good. Shall I do that?
Yeah, that's the published site, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, very good. Paul, I did ask.
What I was saying there was the news items. When you add a news item, it goes to the top. That's how it's set up, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. And there's previous and next buttons at the bottom. So if you click next, it'll update that and then show the next.
Because we've got three stories now. But
yeah.
If we added more, you could either carry on the next, or you can go on this on news.
Yes, that's right.
You could just keep scrolling down until you're bored. Oh, where's that gone? Disappeared. Didn't like it. Maybe it's not disappeared. Why is that disappeared?
Still trying to do something, I think.
I tried to click on news and it decided it didn't like me there. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So that was just, you can keep scrolling down. Now, if we add an image, do images appear with the headline, or only when you go into reading the story?
So if you're in the WordPress editor for that post, you can add a feature image, and that will then appear here as the next to the headline.
Paul, I see that what we're looking at now has the label news under the headlines.
Mm-hmm.
That's the category that it.
I understand. Yes, it's the category. Do we need that?
Not necessarily. No, I can remove that.
Because it's all, it's going to be chronological, isn't it? Everything will be
Yes.
the latest thing. If we can just eliminate that, it gives us more screen space to play with.
Isn't that where you want your date?
Yeah, the date should be there instead. I can change that to the date.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that would make more sense, wouldn't it, to have the date there?
Yeah, yeah. And we've got the source, which is very useful as well.
But that's a source we've written in ourselves into the text we've put there, yeah?
Yes, of course. I think that's very useful too. It gives an idea of the authority of the piece.
Yeah.
I think we probably have to do that anyway, don't we?
Yeah, yeah. Especially if we're rewriting somebody else's work.
Okay, what do you want to look at next?
Do you want to do we want to show the others what it looks like to have a featured image with a news item to see if we want to use it?
Yeah, any image will do as a test, won't it?
No, do that. Should we go back and have a look at the draft news item that I was putting together? We can publish it temporarily and then take it and remove it, can't we? So if you look at the pen, right, this is my test one. So if I edit this one.
Paul?
Yeah.
I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. This is bloody good.
Thank you.
It really is. It really is. I love the clean design, and I think it's going to knock their socks off. It's terrific.
I'm just going to show you where the set featured image bit is. Can you see down here? You can add tags to news items if you want to. That tags go into search engine, but the featured image is right. So if I set featured image, with that image that we just added, can you see that's now that image that I uploaded is now in the media library? So that's another way of accessing images.
Yeah. You build up a bank, don't you? Of images.
But you can add loads of things into the media library in one go if you want, and then add them to news items.
And they can be charts and tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So if I then publish it briefly, then we can see.
If you just scroll down, you've got an option there to show the feature image in the posts list only and hide it on the single post view. That will stop you from getting.
Where was that? Oh,
underneath the image.
In the post list only, but hide it in the single post view.
So if you click that, that will mean that in the news page,
it
will show the feature image. But when you look at the individual post, it won't show that image again because you've already added it in the body of the post. You can try it with it on and with it off and see what you prefer.
Put it on, right? So I'm going to publish it, but it won't be published for very long because we're going to.
You have to click publish again.
Yes, I really did want to publish it. Right now is a view it.
Well, this is not a live site anyway, is it?
No.
So we're safe.
Yeah, but even on a live site, the likelihood of anybody coming and looking at your site.
I know. Yeah.
So if you click on the news menu at the top now.
That image is now on that page as a feature. And then
Paul, we said we were going to get rid of news category and put a date there. Does that affect what's the menu then? Doesn't it?
No, no,
No.
no. The menu is driven from the category, but it doesn't matter if you don't display the
Okay.
category.
so it
Okay.
doesn't show on.
So
It doesn't show there, but it shows when you.
So it should show there, but I've obviously turned them off, so I can
Okay.
re-enable the images to show there.
Oh, I see. It didn't show on the. Yeah, because then you kind of want the image to show when you're looking at the news items, I suppose, if there's a relevant image.
Incidentally, Paul, I think the icons you chose are really nice. They add a bit of visual interest. They're really
In
useful.
the on the principles tab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I like them very much. They help, the layout of that screen. May I say, incidentally, I think principles is the wrong word. These are not principles; they're aims.
Yeah.
And in fact, it'll help the page. So if we change the word principles to aims,
You want
And-
that in the top in the.
yeah, in the
menu.
menu, Jane, and also on the page itself. So in fact, we've got
Yeah, but-
pension review group up in the banner, white on blue. We don't need to say again in the main body of the screen, principles of the pension review group. Aims is good enough, because then we go into that series of bullets, as it were, with the icons. Just aims is nice and
I can
abbreviated.
change it to. I can change the menu to say aims. That's
Yeah.
easy to
You
do.
want aims in the there.
Yes, Jane.
Right. I don't think.
And also,
I don't. We can't change that, can we, Paul?
No, I've just changed it. If you refresh, it would be changed. It should be changed
Right.
now.
So we're learning some of the things that we can change, and some of the things that
yeah,
that our Ubermeister has the control.
yeah, sure.
So
And
would you,
I'm happy to give you access to change those kinds of things. It's not, it's your site. So if you want to have the ability to do more with it, then I'm happy for that for you
I
to
think
have
while
that
we're
level of
taking,
access.
I think while we're taking baby steps, let's not do too much.
yes,
Okay.
there's the screw up factor coming in
That's
here.
right.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's a good point.
But if you
But
can
I-
change that to aims, yeah.
I think what you just said there, Barry, changing that list of things along the top to aims makes sense. Keeps it nice and tight. But actually, when you see the whole page come up like that, I
Yeah.
would suggest that it actually then again repeats pension review group on the page itself, not on the select screen at the top, but so it actually says aims of the pension review group on this page.
Well, I just wondered about that. I'll tell you why, because won't we always see the banner which says pension review group?
Yeah.
It seems to me,
yeah.
it seems redundant.
Some devices, I'd repeat things. I'm a big fan of repeating things.
Jane, could you switch it to the other views, the tablet view and the mobile phone view, just to compare, see if that has any effect on the impression? Because I think pension review group may take up quite a lot of space on a phone. It might be interesting just to see what they look like.
That's true.
Can you do that? I can't see where the buttons are. Oh no, we're looking at the.
I've got it on my phone at the moment.
How do I do it, Paul?
If you go back to the dashboard,
Oh yeah, back to the dashboard. Yeah.
then if you edit, maybe just go to pages, and go to home, and go down to home, and then choose edit with Elementor rather than just edit.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then that's how you see the view.
Yeah, that's better. Do we need, Jane, you like to repeat, you mentioned it just now, but since pension review group is in the banner, could the headline say aims of the PRG? It would save a lot of space.
That would be more consistent.
Yeah.
It would save a lot of screen space too. Instead of having 3 decks, just 1 deck.
Can we see the aims page? Is that it? No. Can we see the
Right.
aims page?
Yeah, but that won't work because you're editing the home page.
Right.
You need to edit the aims page.
Ah,
I'll go back.
You can actually click preview. There's a little eye next to the at the bottom, next to update.
Oh, the eye there. Right.
Click on that, and you may be able to get to it from there.
Get the name.
Oh, but then it's not going to be mobile phone friendly. It's just going to be.
Right.
Yeah, that's better.
so you have to be editing it to see the different formats.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
Edit with Elemental. That's how you
so
get.
we're learning how it works as well.
Yeah. So edit with Elemental, and that's how I then get to see what that looks like with the other. It would be fast, and it's because it's sharing as well that it's slowing it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
While it's doing that, in terms of the screw up factor, if we're going in there just to learn about it and play around a little bit, and we completely screw something up, is it possible to unwind everything we've done?
Yeah, it takes a daily backup, so you can always restore from the previous day's backup. And I'm not sure if there's versioning on the pages. I'll have to check. You can click take over on that. I'm no longer editing that.
Okay. So we can responsive.
Useful to see that though, that only one person can edit at one time.
Good.
So that's how that looks on tablet, and that's how that looks. I think that's all right. What do you don't think
What's that tablet?
that's a
And
phone?
that's
I was about
phone.
to say that we could make this even more concise. That headline, aims of the pension review group, just by saying PRG aims.
Yeah.
Then that would just be one line.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So
Exactly.
if you want to change that, Jane, just click on that title. And click on the little pink pencil on the left-hand side. In fact, it's already opened for you. So on the left, you can just change the wording there.
And then we get into the aims, the bullets, much faster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
That's
then
great.
having saved that, can we look at the other formats again?
Yeah. You've got me working really hard this afternoon.
I know. This is a good training session. You'll be an expert.
Thank you.
You're going to do all the updates. Yeah, I'm looking at it on my iPad. It looks much better now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something that really annoys me here. Oh dear. Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry about this. It's the editor in me. In the footer, it says, "Who are we? What do we do?" No question mark. But what I wrote was, "Who we are, what we do,"
Oh.
which makes, if I may say so, a bit more sense.
Yeah, I can fix that as well.
Are you doing that?
Who we are, comma, what we do. Doesn't need a question mark.
Are you doing that, Paul?
Yes, I'll do that right now.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Don't mess with editors.
So is that something that you have to do, Paul, or is that something we could have changed?
The footer, I think, is something that I have to do because it's part of the site design.
Okay.
So who are we? What we do with no comma.
No, with a comma.
With a comma. Yeah.
Who are we? Who we are? What comma? What we do?
Okay. Right, that's done. If you refresh, that should now be fixed.
Otherwise, it needs a question mark.
Exactly. Yeah, you got it.
I do a bit of proofreading myself, Barry. For a techie, I'm a bit up on. Yeah.
Well, Jane, let me tell you something. That when I started at Reuters 200 years ago, some of the best proofreaders were the telegraphists.
Oh, they were,
And
they could type really quick as well.
Well, they type very fast, and not only that, they saved the careers of many a young sub-editor.
They were, especially the ones I knew, they were very picky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could read it upside down and read it from the dots on the print.
Yeah, they could read it.
Well, that's a wonderful skill, of course. I never learned that.
Very
but
handy.
Anyway, we're digressing. So we learned about posts that scroll, but pages don't. So there's a difference between posts and pages, and Paul set this up so that when we're on the home page,
You'll have to come out of the editor.
not come out of editor. Oh, how do I come out of editor? Remind me.
The hamburger on the top left,
No, the hamburger. That's it. Not the dots. The hamburger.
and then exit.
Oh,
Paul, did we decide that the hamburger and the search icon could not be increased in size?
I think I did increase them slightly.
Okay, it's just that just to get them a bit more proportionate with the actual banner title. But it's not a die in the ditch issue.
Well, I managed.
I just always bear in mind that many of our readers will be like me, of poor vision.
And
anything that adds clarity is to be welcomed.
Oh, I don't know what I'm up to now. I've lost the plot of it. Oh, I wanted to read the pages. Okay. Visit the site. There we go. Right. So that is a page, even though it's got the news at the side. That bit is a page, isn't it, Paul?
that's right. Yes.
That
Yeah.
bit that says "Welcome to the new PRG website." So we can change the content of that within a page edit. That also.
Yeah, they're all pages apart from the news tab, which is a
Okay.
posts list.
Which is a list of posts. Yeah, I'm familiar with doing that.
Paul, another question, if I may.
Mhm.
In just before the headline of each page we're looking at, I'm looking at PRG aims at the moment. There's quite a lot of white space. Can we lose some of that?
That's part of the template that I've used.
Okay. Okay.
I may be able to reduce it a bit. I'll have a look.
Just by losing a line feed or something like that.
Yes.
Now, what
Make it uniform on all pages.
are we doing with that page? It says the header that says members.
Yeah, there's no page for that at the moment. That was a menu
No.
item you asked me to add, but I haven't got any content for it.
No, I think some of the content for that is probably under what was principles, wasn't it?
Under about, I think it is.
Oh, is it about? I beg your pardon.
Yeah, there's a list of people.
Yes, that's right. Well, that's probably what should be members, shouldn't it? Or some of that? Because it says members of the PRG there.
Do we need?
I wonder whether it's on the wrong page. That content.
Or do you
Do
need
you
it at
even-
all? If
Do you need a members page?
Yeah, if you just put it all on the about the PRG.
Yes.
The PRG.
I think it's possibly ambiguous anyway for anybody who's coming to this afresh. They may
Yes.
think this is something I can join and become a member.
Yes.
That's not really what it means. It's
I
just
agree, Adrian.
people who've got together. So maybe call it. I don't know. I'd suggest not even having a members page.
I think you're right. But the content can go under about, can't it?
I think we can
Yep.
lose.
Yes, as it is. Absolutely.
I think we
Incidentally,
can
I
lose that.
deleted some of the people who'd left, but I haven't added the people who've joined. So apologies for that. I wanted to be sure who had joined. Somebody else
Yeah.
can add it. I don't especially want to do it myself, but
don't-
anyway, there are
yeah.
some people who should be added.
Yes. Yes.
Do we just want to get Angela to confirm who we're adding to that group. Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
I think
and also perhaps, do you want to do her agreement that we drop the members page? I don't know whose proposal it was. It might have been
Well, I think
hers.
I think it's redundant, isn't it?
Okay.
I've got a feeling that it was where this list of members was. I think that information was there. But if that information is on the about the PRG, then it really doesn't need to.
So how would this page look on a phone? Because there's quite a lot of text there, and where would the names of the members actually appear?
Let's have a look.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think they appear below. So because it's in two columns, it shows the left-hand column first, then it shows the
Right.
right-hand column.
Right.
But yeah,
So
you can have a
people could
look.
at least scroll down to the members on their phone if they wanted to.
Yes.
I mean, by having, I mean, the heading's a bit about the PRG. I mean, we can, if we wanted to. I mean, all it is saying at the moment is who is in, but it could have more information than that if we wanted it to.
What may I suggest that we might make about us instead of PRG?
Yeah.
No, that's I'm not.
So,
But if you're a reader of this who knows nothing about the PRG, does about us have potentially multiple meanings? They may think it's about them as much as about the PRG members.
also, I mean, it's a widespread convention that websites just have the word about. I mean,
Fine.
if you wanted to
Yeah.
shorten it, maybe you could just have about. I think people know what that
Yeah.
means nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Adrian.
That's how it looks on the phone, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you think that the content of that doesn't make sense, then we can, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
Is
we can play with the content of that, can't we? So we need Paul to change the list at the top, but that's it. Yeah, and that works. About I think that would actually, yeah, that would make it all even simpler.
Yeah, because
Yes.
they're all single words, aren't they? So home,
Yep.
about,
Yes, all
news,
single
name,
words.
background.
That's good.
Mm.
Is that all right, Paul?
Yeah, I've changed it to about now. So, and I've removed the members menu item as well.
Perfect.
What have we asked you? We've asked you to do as a news template, haven't we?
Is there anything about the contact area that we need to look at? Is there anything that we haven't covered yet in terms of how we do it?
So the contact, what I will need to know is where anything that's submitted through that contact form, where it gets sent to.
Okay.
Well, I suggested it should go to the chair, but she hasn't agreed to that yet, obviously. But I think there has to be one point of contact, doesn't there?
Paul, do you use any mailing systems? Because there's Amazon has a mailing system. I wondered whether you used that.
Yeah, so we do use it internally. And WordPress is a built-in mailing system as well. So
I don't know anything about these. What does the WordPress one do?
It just sends whatever's completed on that form to an email address.
Oh, right. Okay. I think more than that. I mean, nothing like.
In the Get in Touch panel, may we reword that so it doesn't say the form below? Complete the form.
The reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I put that because the form was originally below. And
yeah, sure. And is it at all possible to do two things? One is increase the size of the red asterisks for legibility. And also, is it possible, because I think on a previous iteration, we saw the submit button on a yellow background. Could we have a stronger contrast between that sort of teal blue and the navy blue of our house style? Yellow is good. Red is great because it catches the eye.
So when you put your cursor over the button, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I can.
let's have a look at the yeah. So when you cursor over the submit button, it changes color. Let's say, well, perhaps it should be a different color anyway, because it's a bit close for the same. It's not the same palette exactly as the main
No,
navy blue.
it
It's a
should
different-
be, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a different palette. But if it could then mouse over a different color, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Or else I'll be asking too
It does
much here.
change. It changes color ever so slightly.
Yeah, I
Well,
can
you
make
got-
it any. I can change it to.
You've got good eyesight, Adrian. Blimey.
Well, and I've got a mouse. I'm using a mouse.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
using a mouse?
No, I wasn't. I was looking
No.
at my pad.
No, no.
Um,
So if you haven't got a mouse, I don't think it will happen. But as I move the mouse over the submit button, it goes slightly darker.
I can't do
whereas,
that.
I mean, if
Jane,
you're tapping it,
Jane's sharing her screen, so I can't do that.
No.
I'm showing you that it's changing colour actually.
Yeah, it is. You can
Oh,
see
it
it's changing colour on Jane's
Oh,
Oh,
there
screen.
you are.
it
Oh,
is
yeah,
very
yeah,
subtle,
yeah.
too subtle for
Yeah.
me.
it is very subtle.
I'd like a really
Maybe.
strong contrast, like yellow or red or something like that, or green if you like.
With
I don't care.
explosions coming out of the side, but lots of
Yeah,
flashing lights.
and lightning flashes. Yeah, yeah.
Green.
Maybe not, but a bit brighter, yes, or a different color, just a different color, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, I was pleased to see that when you
Can it go
submit
to
a name,
Yeah.
that on the next page that comes up says something like "Thanks for getting in touch." I don't know whether that's automatic within WordPress, but if
That's
you've
probably
done it,
automatically generated, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
maybe right, okay. I mean, it's good to have that come up as the next page, just
Yes.
to kind of confirm that you've done something, and also to say something useful.
Yes.
So do we
And-
want the presumably it can go to more than one email address, can't it, Paul? If you want it to, when this template of contact gets completed, can that email be sent to more than one email address?
I can't remember. I think it can. I'd have to look at the settings.
Okay. Because I was thinking it could go to Angela, but it could also go to the generic email address.
Yeah, I'd have to look into the email.
Because it's probably better that it goes in more than one place.
Yeah, I haven't actually configured the form to work yet when you click the button, so I'll have to look
Okay.
at the settings. And yeah, I'm sure if it can't go to more than one person, what you can do, you can set up a Gmail account that it goes to, and that Gmail account automatically forwards the
Yeah.
message onto everybody else.
Yeah.
So there are ways around it.
There are always ways around it, aren't there?
Well, what I do, I use Thunderbird, and it just automatically keeps in track of the actual account, so I don't actually have to sign on to the web page. I just get a notification within my use of Thunderbird. I don't know, probably other people don't want to do that, but it means that I can see all my email addresses updating at the same time. Not that, I mean, because some of them hardly ever do update. It's convenient not to have to sign on to find out if you've got any new mail.
Yeah, mine. I do that through Outlook on my phone.
I did notice that there was a WordPress plugin for something called Mautic, which is a kind of an email device whereby if somebody fills in the form, the new information gets automatically put into a database, SQL database, I suppose, and then using PHP, you can manipulate that database. But I suspect that sounds a bit more a bit complicated to kind of look at if it's not something that you're familiar with, Paul.
I'm personally not, but I'm happy to look at things if if it's something you think you need.
Well, I know nothing about it. This particular program, which is a free program, open source program called Mautic, Mautic, I think it is, has a WordPress plugin, so it allows you just to kind of place it on your site. And just a couple of nice features were that it will automatically just add the new email address and details into your database without you having to do anything. As for emailing large numbers of people, I mean, it also does all sorts of marketing things, which it probably makes it far too complicated for our needs. But I did wonder about the Amazon mailing system, which apparently you can email hundreds or thousands of people all in one go for a few cents. That's why I was wondering whether you come across that.
Yeah, definitely use that quite a lot with our customers.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right. So, I mean, that's something, I don't know, is that something that we could make use of? I mean, I don't know how it works. I mean, I have a list of names, 500 or 600 names in a spreadsheet, and it's kind of dealing with them is a bit laborious, which is why I'm kind of going on about this.
Right. Okay. I can certainly look into options for you.
Well, the two options are, is there a way that when somebody fills in that form and sends their details, that it could just go into the database? And secondly, is there a way that we can use the database just to email everybody with a letter or a message or something all in one go, even if we have to pay Amazon 10 cents?
Yeah, there's a way to do it in WordPress. So another site that I manage has all the emails in, and every time a new post is added, everybody gets emailed to notify them that there's a post, and at the end of the email there's an option to unsubscribe to the messages.
Oh, that's the other thing, yes, which we of course haven't been able to do, but some of these things give you the option for an unsubscribe message that will automatically remove the name from the database.
Yeah, so that can easily be done.
So,
I've done that.
Anything like that can help with the labor of dealing with hundreds of names would be very useful.
Okay, yeah, I can look into that.
Okay, well, don't worry about spending too much time on it, but if there is a way of making it work easily. I mean,
I've done it before, so it is possible.
Oh well, if you have any thoughts about that, that would be great.
Okay, yeah, I'll have a look. So is there anything else?
I don't know where it's gone.
It won't go anywhere. It won't go anywhere yet because I've not configured it to go anywhere.
Do you think it's just sitting there waiting to go somewhere?
It may have just not done anything because it's not a live site yet, so it's not completely wired up properly yet.
So when it goes live, we want it to take over the address that the current website's using, don't we, Adrian?
Yes, it can use the existing address, yes, which is Writers Pensioners, as I said, writerspensioners at gmx.co.uk, which is the one I've been using most recently. I used to have a Blue Yonder one until Virgin shut it down.
No, not just the email, but the actual. Oh,
the web address, yes. Well, again, that's something that I can sign on to and simply point it at 18.134.228.107 if that's the address, or a name if it's given a name. Or somebody else can take over the URL if that's what's wanted. But anyway, so the address is writerspensioners.org.uk, which can be pointed at whatever we end up with.
Okay, so if you've got control of that domain, then I can give you the details of where to point it once you're ready to go live.
I can do that if that's what's wanted. Yeah.
Are we editing?
Same address.
Apologies if we're cross purposes here, but are we editing content at the moment?
What do you mean?
Well, there are a couple of things on the homepage welcome that need a little bit of attention.
Before you get into that, are there any other parts of navigating the site you wanted to look at?
No, only if we could resolve that submit button if possible to make it a bit easier.
Yeah, I've made a note of that. So I'll
Thank
have
you
a
so
look at that.
much. Thank you so much.
And did you wanted the asterisk to go a bit?
If they can come up a few points.
Yeah, I'm not sure because they're controlled by the plugin. I'll have a look.
Yeah,
See if
sure.
I can. See
Okay,
if I can...
if possible, yes. If it's a problem, never mind. Please complete the form. That's great. Okay, that's good. No, the thing that struck me about the homepage welcome is that where is it? Okay, yeah.
Let's go back.
Yes, yes. At PRG meeting with trustees, it's written into the future. It's all happened, isn't it?
So if you're going to move on to content now, if there's nothing else you need from me, are you okay if I drop off because I have another meeting to get to?
Well, thank you very much indeed. I think you've done a great job. I don't know how many hundred people you've got working for you, but they've done a great job.
Thanks very much, Paul. It's been really good.
No problem at all. Happy to help. And if when you're playing around with the site, you have some more things you want changed, or you need some help with something, please just let me know.
Thank you so much. I hope we all agree that we'd like to try and keep it as simple as possible.